Hey, co-reporters, welcome back to my channel. Look at me. I did not even know my light popped up here. Let me just move it a little bit for you guys. It's time for a recap of what went down on parts 1 and 2 of Teen Mom Family Reunion, which aired on MTV last night. Listen, it truly does to me seem as though they are trying to just get rid of this show at this point. I see Princess Tia is in the building. Princess Tia was just with me on TikTok. I'm streaming simultaneously to TikTok, so it's nice to see you here already, Princess Tia. So it really truly seems like they're like, listen, let's just get rid of this. The ratings are not there because on their finale episodes, they pushed out the 2 episodes together. And now here they are doing that when it comes to the reunion as well. Well, what have you guys thought? Like, does it seem like something that's not really like the business anymore? Like it kind of fell off, did it not? Kiki saying, I'm pausing the show to tune into your live. Thank you. That's what I thought about Ryan as well. He just did not look good, in my opinion. Like it really did seem like something was off. His eyes looked a little bit dead. Kiki's not for parents being kept away, but like sometimes it's for the best of the child, you guys. I'm swearing. Listen, what did you guys think of the episode? How would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10? I didn't think about this for myself, but if I were forced to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, first of all, I would group both episodes together. I would give it like a solid 5. Not great, not horrible, right? It's just kind of there. To me, the only thing that I was interested in watching was the fallout from the fight between Ashley and Brianna and how both of them handled that. And I do have a lot of things to say, right, about it. And thank you, Cherry Girl. So that will kind of just kick things off. Why don't we kick things off? So as you can see from the title, what really kind of interested me when it came to this reunion stuff was the fact that these girls keep getting pushed to co-parent with awful people despite their better judgment, right? Like Ryan has already shown for years that he is not capable of co-parenting Bentley with Maci. He has shown that he is a violent person. He has shown that he is someone who threatens people. And he has shown that he is someone who bullies his own son. And yet, for some reason, Maci is constantly being pushed to co-parent with this man. And I'm wondering why that is. I personally feel like it's very, 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 very unhealthy. I don't think it does any good. Hey, meme. I don't think it does any good for anybody. You know what I mean? Like, especially not Bentley. Like, they already knew all this stuff about Ryan. And now I'm extra pissed off about it in light of all the new stuff we're getting about Ryan Edwards as well, about how he has allegedly been punching holes in the wall in the home that he shares with his wife, Mackenzie Standifer, and their 2 children. We're also hearing that he has joined a biker gang and he's trying to threaten her with a biker gang. We're hearing that he is threatening to like use physical force on her if she leaves him. Like, why is Maci being forced to co-parent with someone like that? That stuff is new development, but the way that he's done the same thing to Maci all this time is not new, right? Like, it is not new at all. So I don't really understand why, it kind of feels like they're teaching these girls to not trust their gut. And I think that is unhealthy, and unfair, not only to the women themselves, but to their kids as well. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but I really didn't like it. I truly don't. If someone is bad and if someone is violent and someone is dangerous, you got to accept that and move accordingly. You don't have to adjust this, that, and the other in order to make it work. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like that. Hi, Delilah. Oh, I see you on my TikTok too. I remember chatting with you. Thanks for being here as well. I just don't like it. And I don't think it's a good thing at all. And like you say, Delilah, I hope that Maci just goes ahead and terminates those rights. Michelle says they need to throw Brie and the whole show away. Well, let's get into that as well, okay? So how did you guys feel about the way that they handled the altercation between Brianna de Jesus and Ashley on the show? I'm not surprised, to be honest with you guys, that all the girls have decided to band together in order to sort of blacklist Ashley from the show, despite the receipts being pulled about how it was Roxanne instigating a lot of things with the chair in one night and then Brianna getting up on the table and whatnot, Roxanne bumping into Tia on purpose to set things off, refusing to apologize. the girls were still out there caping for them, right? And condemning Ashley a lot. And I truly do want to know what you guys think about all of that in general. I was disappointed to see. You know what else I was disappointed to see? That they never brought up the fact that Brianna accused T of lying about her childhood sexual abuse. Remember what she said, that it felt fake? She doesn't think that she was crying real tears or anything like that. How unfair was that? And how is it that she was never once called out for it either? You know, these girls are just so biased and they're riding with the wrong girl. Is Ashley a really abrasive person who I would not want to be around? Oh, absolutely. But is Brianna the same thing? Absolutely. I think they're both trash at the end of the day. And I don't understand why they're riding so hard for one versus the other, right? They are the exact same thing, in my humble opinion, just manifesting in different forms. It's crazy to me that they saw all of this play out. And then they saw the public's reaction, how nobody sided with Brianna and her mom, and they still decided that that is who they wanted to stick with. I was like, really, girls? You want to get with a losing team? All right, then. All right, then. You know, what are we supposed to do at this point? Like, it seems like they have just made their minds up. One thing I will say, though, is that I think that I can see when it comes to Ashley deciding to take things up a notch by going on social media and talking poorly about Brianna's kids. That is something she never, ever, ever should have done, right? So I can see why they're disgusted by her for doing that. But when it comes to the actual fight, I don't understand. I truly don't. I think that they should have held them both accountable and been like, listen, we don't need either of these girls on the show. They are both ratchet. They are both messy. And they're both too volatile. I don't want to be associated with either of them. That's personally where I would feel like I would fall into, but I digress. Maybe it's a little bit more difficult when you are, you know, in the midst of it and there is a lot of groupthink going on and whatnot. It's just, I don't know. So now there was a little bit of a meltdown on Roxanne's end. You guys all know how Roxanne is. She loves to be the center of attention. And when she's not the center of attention for a single moment, she starts freaking out. So Coach B and Nessa, by the way, Dr. Drew was not here because they had Coach B. So I do want to ask you guys, between Coach B and Dr. Drew, who do you prefer handling the reunions? Do you think that Coach B did a better job than Dr. Drew would have done? Feel free, please let me know in the live chat, or if you're watching this on the replay, let me know in the replay who you think has handled the reunions a little bit better here. So let's get into the tea here. So Roxanne's upset because they are asking the other girls how they felt about the fight, and everyone was defending Brianna. People were like, oh my God, it broke my heart that she got spat on, this, that, and the other. Everyone was unanimously for Brianna. But again, because the attention is not focused on Roxanne, she is upset. And so she starts throwing a tantrum and wants to go home. She's like, oh my God, like they're talking about this with everyone else but us. We're not up on the couch. She knew at that point that they were going to have their own solo segment. So there was absolutely no reason for this tantrum that she threw at all, right? It's so typical of her to do things like this in order to try to get like more time. And, you know, that's the problem with the DeJesus women. I feel like they're all bark and no bite. And I don't like those types of people. It's like, be about it. You know what I mean? Like, they're just so like, I don't know, like they're just so much. Like they're all about barking. And I can't get with it, you know, be about it at this point. So she takes off her shoes. She puts on by the way, her outfit was really beautiful. I loved her outfit, right? Like that green tunic that she wore with like the pink heels. It was cute. I thought she was the best dressed. And I felt like Kaya and her mom, Tiffany, looked like they were going to prom. I don't know why they got so dressed up like that in like full-blown gowns and sequins and crowns and stuff. I was like, let's calm it down a little bit, you guys. You guys are so funny. Me as a reunion host. Oh my God. I don't even know where to begin. I would just be dragging people. I would not be neutral at all, to be honest with you guys. They would not have that with me. So here's the other thing. When they showed the footage again, they rolled it back of how Brianna's mom bumped into Ashley's mom. We get Kaya's mom, Tiffany, who's claiming that Roxy didn't even bump her. And I'm like, okay, like if you want to be biased like in silence. Don't try to gaslight people. It was already replayed in slow motion by production to show that this is truly what happened. And here's the thing, even if like you didn't mean to bump her, you slightly touched her and she's upset by it, what was so difficult about saying I'm sorry? You know, if you're not someone who's trying to escalate a thing, why not just say I'm sorry? I didn't mean to. I didn't realize that I did. In my opinion, I didn't bump you, but I apologize anyway because you felt bumped. You know, like it just like why did it need to escalate like that? Why did Roxanne need to be so smug to T? It was really unfair, I felt like. And I did not like the way that Tiffany kind of acted like it did not happen. Like we saw the replay. And another thing that was not mentioned that I was really upset by, well, let's not be dramatic, Grace, but another thing that didn't happen that like kind of irritated me was the fact that we never talked about how Roxanne was already scolded by the producers at a certain point, right? Like the producers literally pulled her aside and said, Roxanne, we get it that you've got issues with this woman, but you need to stop. When she kept instigating things from the inside, yelling and screaming and whatnot, they were tired of it because they knew that it would escalate into this. And so she didn't listen. And of course, continued to escalate the situation until her daughter got spit on, right? So I don't know, why was that not brought up? So I didn't like that. I felt like there were a lot of opportunities to point out how Roxanne and Brie were wrong, but instead everybody, including the hosts, chose to enable them. The only time that Brianna was not enabled was when she got up on the stage and she claimed that like she didn't want to match Ashley's like hyped up energy. She tried to stay calm. And Coach B was like, really, girl? So when you got up on that counter, were you being calm or were you matching her energy? Right. And then at that point, Brianna had to backtrack a little bit because it's facts. She was hyping things up. Who gets on a table in the middle of a fight? Like if she did not get up on that table, she would not have been spit on. That's it. She would have, had to throw some punches, but that's the thing. Brianna can't fight. So that's why she got on that table talking about, I'm going to kick you in the throat like a 5-year-old, right? Like it was all so damn ridiculous. By the way, you guys, I'm surprised to see how many of you say, is this thing okay? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to unplug it. Sorry, guys. My headphones are being annoying. I was surprised by how many of you were saying that you prefer Dr. Drew hosting the reunions, because I do think that typically you guys complain about Dr. Drew, but I guess Coach B is just not doing it for you. I do see some people supporting her, but I have seen that the majority of you seem to prefer Dr. Drew. Let me get into some more comments. I do like what Rachel said, by the way. Coach B is a fresh set of eyes. She hasn't watched them grow up, and which is a stretch to say, Miss Shady, and I love it. Exactly. I really liked it. I enjoyed seeing her with the girls host the reunion this time around. Roxanne saw a watch they played and was bumping Ashley's mom with a smile. She smiled. She was smirking. Exactly. So why was everybody lying at that point? Roxanne definitely did bump her and laugh too. See, we all saw the exact same thing, but these girls had already decided to push a certain kind of narrative out there, and act like these girls were victims. They all played a role in this mess. So one thing that happens is at the end, all the girls basically kind of band together to blacklist Ashley from the show. They all agree unanimously that they do not want to film that show again if Ashley is asked back. They're like, I would never shoot with Ashley again. Violence is just too much. I'm not doing it. Like, I have no tolerance for it. It's not happening. And so I'm wondering what you guys think about that. What do you guys think is going to happen? Are they going to have to let go of Ashley, or are they going to have to see what happens when push comes to shove, right? Will the girls actually stand by their claims and not film, or will they have to pick and choose? Like, because Ashley, this storyline was interesting. This was the only interesting part of the Teen Mom Film reunion to me, right? Was this fight, was this dynamic. And I don't think that the other girls have the power that they think that they have. They're not that interesting to be making demands, in my opinion. And I feel like this show was even cut down because there was nothing else to film. I don't hate Ashley. I just think that she's trash just the same way that Brie's trash. You know what I mean? I don't like the way she speaks about people's children. I don't like the way that she spat. Just like I don't like the way that Brie does what Brie does either. I feel like I don't like either of them. I kind of got the vibe that this show was cut down specifically because of that. So the other girls who are too boring to hold up a show without Ashley being around, for them to sit there and be like, well, I'm not filming if she comes again. I'm sorry, but get over yourself. You are not all that, right? You are not all that. That is not happening. And I remember the last time they tried to issue ultimatums. You guys remember Maci when she was like, oh, I'm not going to film if Farrah's filming because I don't want my son associated with Prawn. Guess what happened? They go, all right. And so she comes running back. She's practically tripping over herself. If you go back and watch that episode, it's one of the most hilarious scenes ever. She's like practically jumping out of her truck to film with Bentley again, because she knows she does not have the coinage to make these sorts of demands, right? Like, what else do these girls have going on, right? Like, what else do they have going on if they are not filming this? Where's that money going to come from? Don't worry, I'll wait. But I do wonder, like, what do they do? Will they do something else with Ashley? Will they like split off the show and then like have her with a completely like different like group of people? Like, I'm kind of curious about what is going to happen there, because they might actually succeed in banding together, but I feel like a lot of people will fold. I do. I'm not sure what's going to happen. And I do want to talk about Ashley's attitude about all of this a little bit later on in this recap as well. So please don't forget to like this stream if you're enjoying it so far, but I will get to that a little bit later on. I do have some notes on the way that she kind of acted when they finally got her on the stage. She was not able to share a stage with the rest of the girls because they've all decided to kind of ice her out. Lovely says they won't get rid of Ashley because the fan base is on her side. Plus, they need all the drama they can get. I think that's it too, because like obviously they listen to the fan reactions, right? And if the fans are overwhelmingly in support of someone, they do listen to that and take that into account. So if these girls decide they still don't want to film with Ashley, I think they can film something else with Ashley, because Ashley is drama and people like drama. Right. So I don't know, you guys, I'm not sure. We're going to have to see how that kind of plays out at the end of the day. But I do want to talk to you guys about how one decision can completely change your life. So here's my thing. I feel like Brianna getting spit on is the sum total of all of her other decisions, right? And actually, it's the sum total of one decision in general. So back in the day, Brianna and Kale were friends. They were even surgery sisters. They got their BBLs together with the addition of Brianna's sister, Brittany, in Miami by Dr. Miami. And all was well and good until one day, Brianna decides to be grimy and go behind Kale's back to get with her ex-husband, Javi Marroquin, right? And then obviously that sets Kale off. That would have set anybody off. She starts dating him. She starts bringing her kids around him, hanging out around Kale's kids, and never once said a damn thing to Kale. Disgusting behavior. And so that led to all these feuds, which led to the fat shaming, which led to the other stuff, the exposure of this, that, and the other. You got beat up. This person leaked an X tape about you. Oh, well, I'm going to sue you. And now you've got Ashley, who's decided to take it upon herself to fight Kale's battles and ultimately end up spitting on Brianna, right? All of this is crazy. To me, it's really insane. And I think that I trace everything back to that one particular decision that Brianna decided to make a couple of years ago, and it's quite sad. And I wonder if she sees it that way herself. Her life would be a lot different if she did not do that, in my personal opinion. Right. And like you said, Lovely, it has to do with her mom's decisions as well, because her mom decided to come on the show specifically to antagonize, because she felt like she was avenging her daughter by doing that instead of just trying to be an adult. This is a therapy show. But she just wanted to antagonize instead of really actually get to the root of their problems. And look what happens. Now your daughter gets spit on, and then Brianna getting on a table in the middle of a fight when people are already amped up. What do you think is going to happen, girl? I was not surprised that Ashley, who was already really like hyped up, would go and spit on her. Now, here's the thing. Ashley, I'm sorry, but I think she is dumb, okay, to go out there and like put her job on the line for Petty Betty, of all people, who can't keep a friend if her life depended on it. How are you going to go out there, risk your job, fighting that woman's battles. It's so wild to me. Now, Petty Betty, she feels a little guilty about it, I think. She's like, I talked to producers about it. I'm going to make sure she keeps her job. Girl, you don't even have your job. What are you talking about? All this for her. Really? You guys are not even besties. You guys are not even hanging out like that because you don't live near each other. What's her face lives in Nevada now. She used to be California. Now she lives in Nevada, Vegas. And Kale lives in Delaware. So what is this stuff? You know what I mean? Like, it was just such a fail. And again, I'm going to talk about the way she behaved when she came on stage finally, because she had to have her own segment. And I felt like it did her no favors, right? So it's just the L of the century. It truly is. She really should have just minded her own business. I know some of you guys say that this is coming from how Devon once said that she was really beautiful, and then Brianna, that upset her a little bit. No, I don't think that led to all of this. I think that this is mainly like her trying to like ride for her friend Kale, because even when she does Kale's podcast, she is just so hyped up on being this woman's protector, and it's a little cringeworthy in my humble opinion. So we did get a sweet little surprise, you guys, when Ryan Edwards joined us on the reunion couch. How did you guys feel about that? First of all, like, did you guys think that he had a place there? I personally don't understand why he came out of nowhere. If you did not participate on the show, I don't understand why I need to see you on the reunion personally, but I digress. They needed to do anything that they could do in order to drum up those ratings. And this is what they had to do, unfortunately, bring him back. So you guys, I'm seeing a lot of you guys saying it, and I do agree. It seemed like he was high at the reunion, okay? Like, his eyes just looked very dead, and it just all looked like quite weird to me. So, and then like when you look at his hands as well, like looked like they had gone through hell. He could barely move them. I remember at the end of the segment, they had to do some kind of a group chat, and he's like going in for the hug, and he's holding, like, I don't know, like, when your arm falls asleep, you guys, and you can like hardly move it. And so you're kind of like this or whatever, like that's him with his hand trying to like move them for a group chat. And so not a group chat, a group hug. And I felt quite sad about that for him. Like, he just did not look sober. So it's crazy to me that these people who are supposed to be certified relationship counselors, psychologists, or whatever they want to call themselves, are pushing to have this man get unsupervised visitation with his son. Like, are you kidding me, you guys? Are you kidding me? Like, please use better discretion than that, and that's what's something that really pissed me off about the reunion special. Like, Maci, I don't think deserved to be told that she needs to let this guy have more time with her kid when he has already decided that he does not want to. Like, he has not shown up for Bentley. Like, he's talking about how he doesn't even know Bentley at this point because it's been so long since he's seen him. And they're like, oh no, but like, why don't you just throw him back in the deep end over there, right? Like, it really pissed me off. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Like, what is that? Why is the onus on Maci to put her son through that? Why does her son need to go through that? Like, this guy is very clearly not sober at all, Let's see. Ryan has an illness. It's sad that he can't get the support he needs. Ryan has all the support he needs. He's gotten a lot of support. The thing is that he doesn't want to use the support. Viacom, MTV, they give these people unlimited access to mental health counselors, to substance abuse counselors. He's been in rehab several times. He's checked out of rehab early. He just he's not in that place yet, right? He's not. Yeah, and I agree with you, Rachel. He only did this for the money. And I think that that's really disappointing for Bentley. I know that Maci wanted to drug test him before, and he refused. So I still think that she should like hold tight on that. Like, the only way you're seeing my kid is if you do drug testing. And now we already know, right, from seeing the arrest records and whatnot that's come out, that he's still not sober. She was right this whole time. So I really don't like that Coach B was like, trying to like breeze through everything. They never even covered the restraining order that she and her husband had to get against him because he was threatening to off them. We're supposed to breeze by all that. Right? Like, why? I don't know. I'm not a fan of that, to be honest with you. Yes. And I felt like she was babying him, all like rubbing on his like deadbeat shoulder and stuff. Like, stop it. Let that man, he's coddled by everybody. This is why he is the way he is. He's treated like a child by everybody. Even his mom comes out to kiss him on the cheek. First of all, let me say this, right? When Mimi Jen came to kiss him on the cheek, I was like, okay, well, this is a a nice little change of pace from the way that she usually kisses him, right? This is a nice little change of pace. So, maybe he is growing. He is advancing out of the kiss him, hold him in a tight, warm embrace like this kind of phase. For my TikTok followers, I'm showing the picture of when at the sidewalk wedding, Mimi, Jen, and him were practically making out before he got married. Yeah, like he's been upgraded from that to like a simple kiss on the cheek. But my God, you guys, like the way that everybody just like coddles this man is crazy to me. Congratulations on having a grown-up conversation. I'm so proud of you. Like really, really, please. How old is this man, right? So where was I? Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, Coach B, she was getting all real close to him and stuff, talking to him like he was a child or a teenager, I don't know. It just felt really manipulative on his end that he could just sit there after all that he's done, all the violence he's threatened on people, all the like bullying he's done of his own child, and just like the drugs, the stealing, the this, the that, like, and just cry victim. And then everyone just like rallies around him, and like you've got Maci apologizing to him and stuff. I'm like, oh my God, please spare me, Jesus. So anyway, let's skip on over to part 2 of Family Reunion, because we did just finish covering part 1. So Ryan, again, he says that he doesn't even know where to start with Bentley, where to pick up. He doesn't even know who Bentley is anymore because it's been so long since he's spent time with him, right? And so Maci, she's like, like, I'm sorry, this, that, and the other. Like, it's just all very damaging. Like, her instincts about him are right. Her demand for him to get drug testing is correct as well. And now the show has convinced her that she's being too much, that she shouldn't do that she should put her child in harm's way with someone who's doing heroin, allegedly, and whatnot, someone who's allegedly punching in walls, allegedly like simulating punching his wife, who's joining biker gangs and stuff like that. Like, like, it's just so sad. I really hate that. Like, this, and I talked about this earlier with my TikTok peeps, but like, this, like, that happens even in relationships where you're so certain of something because you're experiencing it. And then people around you are like trying to convince you that like the person is not as bad as you know them to be, and it's like, and then you end up putting up with a lot more pain and suffering than you should have because you listen to other people instead of yourself. And I find that is very disappointing, and I don't like that, especially from like experts. Come on now. It was mature of Maci to apologize for her role in their drama, but again, I don't like that she's been made to doubt her very correct instincts about him. So Ryan, again, his hands looked very puffy. His fingernails were very dirty as usual. He couldn't move his hands. Like those hands have been just poked to death. They're hardly mobile anymore. And it's just so sad and disappointing to see what's happened there. Right. And to see how like people are just brushing past it. Coach B never even asked him, oh, Ryan, have you put the pipe down? Are you still doing drugs? She never asked him that. Like, he was just in rehab 2 years ago and he quit rehab early. And you're not going to ask him if he's still on crack? Girl, you're like, oh, just go around the child, like you should be with your child unsupervised. But the drugs, like you don't want to ask him if he's on drugs. That is crazy to me. You know what I mean? Like wild, absolutely shocking to me. But like, I digress. This is just to show you guys that these people these are TV doctors. These are TV like therapists, right? Like you got to be careful, like putting too much faith in them, right? And speaking of listen, I have a video. This video pissed you off, but I'm going to keep it up because it's the truth. Coach B, her credentials come from shady universities, for-profit university degree mills. Like one of them has been shut down because it was like the students could not, the graduates could not find jobs anywhere because it was just like a really crappy school. And then she calls herself Dr. Cheyenne or whatever, but she never graduated with her PhD. She's got a shady background, you guys, So like just the fact that they allow this person to give real advice to people that, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like to me, I find it really, really scary and disappointing, and I find it reckless and I find it dangerous, right? I don't know, you guys don't like that video, but I'm keeping it up because I'm right. It's like that gif, there's that guy. I forgot his name, but it's so funny. It's from this show, Hannibal Buress or something. It's like, why are you booing me? I'm right. Like, she's shady, you guys, but I digress. So moving past the Ryan stuff, let's get into Ashley and all the problems I had with her appearance at their reunion. So she finally gets to come on stage and she talks about like suffering a miscarriage shortly after filming the show. We don't really get into the details of that, which is fine, right? She doesn't have to discuss, but that was very unfortunate and very sad. And then she claims to be well over the altercation. She's like, I've been over it since I left, like nothing on me, which is like, I don't know, disappointing. I felt like she should have at least shown some kind of like sadness or whatever. Listen, you guys, you have to play up your victimhood sometimes, okay? Like whoever plays the best victim wins, right? Like at the end of the day, you have to at least pretend that you feel bad for your role in what it is that happened. Because both of them did escalate the situation. Okay, Javarius, I'm really tired of you accusing me of hating Ashley. I'm not dealing with this. I'm sorry, but it's really annoying. Where was I? Okay, so you have to admit that you contributed to something. And that's what I liked about her mom T. Her mom T was ready to own up to her portion in things. She's like, I could have like de-escalated the situation and walked away from it instead of like, amping myself up as she amped herself up. But then Ashley, she's very much like, no, I don't care. Never bothered me. Not at all. And then she kept calling like Brianna that bitch, like all these like derogatory terms, which just does not bode well for her, right? Like the people already hate you, the rest of the cast, and they already find you to be very they find you to be very abrasive. They find you to be very vulgar. And she has been, like the way she talks about them online and the kids and stuff like that. It has been that way. Like she could at least show some kind of remorse, but she chose not to. And I don't know. I don't think that that's going to work very well for her, especially the swearing at Brianna and the this and the that. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Brianna called her out of her name. Maybe I misremember, but I don't remember Brianna speaking about her. Did she? Because I don't remember her like speaking about her the way that she spoke about Brianna. So I was kind of like, oh God, please, please, please play victim. Sometimes you need to, in order to save your job, in order to save this, that, or the other, you need to cry those fake tears the way that some people do, act remorseful because her job is on the line at this point. Like you got violence. Spitting on someone is battery. And so I do think that there needs to be like a certain level of, I should not have done that. That is totally not me. I would never do that again. Because at this point, she is a liability to the show, to production, to the insurance and everything. And so people who are working behind the scenes need to feel reassured that you're not going to do something like that again. You know what I mean? And so I kind of wish that she did that. And that's the thing. Brandon likes to play victim. You got to play bigger victim, right? Because whoever is more sympathetic at the end wins. So when you act very like, oh, I don't care and I do it again, it's not great. It's not a great look for you. And it's not going to bode well for you, to be really pompous about that sort of thing. When you do something as disgusting as spitting on people, it's just, I don't know. I don't love it. I got to be honest with you guys. I don't love it. It's not a good look. And like you said, Lovely, she's a future nurse acting like this. And not even just this, but that video of her verbally abusing her landlord. Remember those elderly people? She was like screaming at them. Like, I guess she fell behind on rent and they wanted them to serve eviction papers. And so she starts screaming at them. She's all up in the face. She's opening the door, blah, 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 threatening them. Like that was horrible. It really was horrible. And so like, you kind of got to calm those certain things down because it's not a good look for you, and the fact that you've got kids too, you guys, like the way she acts, the way Brianna acts, the way a lot of these people act is just like, guys, you've got like kids looking up to you. You can't be acting like this. It's not a good look. It truly isn't. And again, I was really disappointed. Like we had her mom, Pastor T, on the couch, and it was not brought up the way that Brianna claimed that Pastor T was lying about her childhood sexual abuse, right? And I was like, that would have been a great moment to really kind of like, bring more empathy to Pastor T when it comes to all that stuff as well, you know. But I really, really, really like the way that Pastor T handled herself on the couch. And I do feel as though she should have spoken to Brianna about handling, to her daughter Ashley about handling herself a little bit better, because I think that Ashley handled that all the way wrong. In my opinion, she was way too pompous. She was way too callous about it. And I worry for her future on the show, right? Like, you don't want to lose your bag just because you want to like look all big and bad on the show, you know? Like sometimes you got to kind of like tuck your tail between your legs and act remorseful for a little bit until they offer you another season. Then you go ahead and act the way you want to act. But right now, after they finish filming this season, for the moment, you don't have a job, right? You're auditioning again for a job. So come on now. Bring it a little bit better. You know, you got to act like you regret what it is that you did, at least a little bit. I do think that she needs like media coaching or something like that, because I think if she manages to like do that a little bit better, like she could be right, LR, you know, she can go further on this show and in reality TV in general, because like you guys said, it's going to be real hard for her to be a nurse with this stuff that's already out on about her on the internet there, right? By the way, you guys, can I ask you, do you want Ashley to be back for another season of like one of these Teen Mom shows, whether it's Family Reunion or whether it's Next Chapter or something? Let me know in the chat, or if you're watching the replay, let me know in the comment section about that. I am curious. Again, like I said earlier, she does bring the drama. She does bring it. But can they find someone else to bring it? Like, I don't know. You know what I will tell you? I think that Brianna has run her course on this show. I'm not very interested in seeing more of her, but I have heard that she has already been like filming. So, and I have not heard about Ashley filming. So if you guys have heard about Ashley filming, please definitely do let me know about that. So, Coach B or NASA then asks about where this beef come from. They're like, Ashley, where's this beef coming from? So at first, she's just saying she just doesn't like that beef, period. And then after, she's like, wait a minute, like her baby daddy, Devon, said that I was bad, said that I was fine. And then she was really pissed at me over that. And that started everything. I'm sorry, but I'm not really buying it. I think that contributed to things. But I think that the recent stuff is mainly like based on Ashley wanting to protect her Lord and Savior, Petty Betty. Oh, she's back filming. All right, so let's see what happens to the girls then. They all band together. They said they wouldn't film, and she filmed. And now she's filming, apparently. All right, now. Funny mean girl. A lot of people thought that her vibe was funny. Huh. Interesting. I must be getting old now, because I don't vibe with it, to be honest. She doesn't have the smarts to be an RN. Listen, I thought she finished her program or her degree or something like that. I'm not sure. I think maybe she's just waiting for the employment at this point. Yeah, anger management. Please, please, please. Okay, so let's see. And Ashley is the show. She will be back. She needs a manager. Absolutely. I hope she comes back. I can't stand Brianna. I think Brianna's time is up. She's not that interesting. Okay, so you guys are pretty mixed on whether or not you want Ashley to come back. Some no's are in here. Some yeses are in here. Okay. Did this happen? I have no idea. Bar is locked up so often I cannot keep track. I feel like Ashley is boring. Fast forward her. She's filming already. Ashley is gorgeous. Yes, she is. She's very pretty, and she is very stylish as well, but she just kind of needs to chill out a little bit, in my humble opinion. And I'm with you, Shauna. I do not think this show is lasting much longer. It's just not as interesting as it once was. It used to be can't miss TV, and now it is just not the case anymore. What are they saying now? Okay. When Ashley, okay, so here's one thing. She did have a really good moment at this reunion, actually, when she calls out the other girls. She's saying, okay, well, they're all hyped up about what I did in this moment, in that moment, but where are they? Why are they not calling out the fact that Roxanne picked up that chair like she's going to throw it at my mom? Why are they not calling out the fact that Brianna got on the table when we were fighting on the ground together? You know, why are they not calling this stuff out? And I love that. I thought that was a great moment for her. And Coach B agreed with her. She's like, I agree. Like, you know, Brianna and her mom handled some things like in a very poor manner for sure. And it's like, okay, like you're saying that to her face, but why were you not calling them out at the time? Yeah, Coach B, she had this one nice moment where she called out Brianna for getting on that table, but she didn't call out Roxanne for anything that Roxanne did. They didn't bring up the fact that producers pulled Roxanne to the side and told her, stop instigating drama. they really needed to like make that clear. But unfortunately, they did not. Now, then we get a little bit of a scene. Listen, I don't find Kayla particularly interesting, to be honest with you guys. So we get a little bit of a scene of her where she's talking about her issues, co-parenting with Luke. What was I doing? I think I was eating popcorn. I got to be honest with you guys. You know what I do? Oh my God, you guys. So I absolutely love, I get like this microwave popcorn, and then I get butter and I microwave the butter, and then I put it on top of my popcorn. Oh my, I love buttery popcorn. So I always add extra butter on it. It might not be good for my cholesterol or my arteries, but I love it. So I was just like, oh my God, this popcorn is so buttery throughout her segments, because she's not interesting to me, to be honest with you. So she's talking something about like her issues, like co-parenting with Luke. I don't care, right? And then something about how she's got this like new guy she's been seeing for a little while now, and like how she already brought that guy around, like around her kid or whatever. But it was in the context of like helping her move. I feel like, listen, if you're seeing someone and they're kind of like friendly with you more so, like if you introduce them as a friend, whatever, you're helping me move. Like, you know, I'm not introducing you to my kids or nothing. You know, I don't think it's a huge deal personally. Like the kid doesn't even know, right? But I digress. But Luke really threw her under the bus on that. So she gets pissed. She's like, I could expose you on some stuff too. He's like, then expose me then. And she doesn't say anything. Cayenne. Oh, I need to do that. I do have paprika. I don't have cayenne. Ranch seasoning. You know what I used to love? The all-dress seasoning. So good. I just love popcorn. Sometimes when I'm bored, I just make popcorn and I melt some butter on top of it. I love it. Just like a little thing I love. It's a little treat. So we get that scene, which is not, you know, all that interesting. But here's the thing. These girls do have a bad habit of introducing literally everybody to these kids like too soon. And it's scary. I feel like they don't talk enough about the dangers of this, you know, the high risk of whatever can happen to these kids with all these random people that they're bringing around them. Like it's never brought up, and I don't love that. So during this scene, I look up for my bowl of popcorn, and Jade is having a panic attack. And I felt really bad for her. I'm like, I wonder, like, she must have been stressed out thinking about, like, maybe her segment was coming up at that point or something, then they had to cut it short or something. I don't know. But she's thinking about something, I guess, and she just goes into full panic mode. And so, like, she has to go away and whatnot. And does she have a panic disorder kind of like Caitlin? Does she have that, you guys? Is that why? Because I feel like this is the second or third time that this has happened to her. So I guess this is like a real thing for her, which is really sad. That's going to be really scary and really hard on like the body, right? To go through so much anxiety that your body is just like freaking out, shutting down. You want to faint. You know, Brie was there for her for sure. Listen, Brie used to shave her pubes for fun, right? So she's very in tune with Jade's body and how she's feeling. Like she knew before Big Gulp knew. Like Big Gulp was just sitting there. She was really enjoying the reunion, minding her own business. And then Brie's like, oh my God, Jade, like, is everything okay? Blah, blah, blah. And so she kind of gets her the help and everything, which was really nice to see. Like their friendship, I think their friendship is cute, to be honest with you. I do like this friendship. I do think it's a real friendship as well. So now, but here's the thing. Well, no, I won't say it. Well, you know what? I will say it, right? Brie, was her friendship with Kale ever like that? Because again, they were surgery sisters. They did the surgery together, similar to how Brie took care of Jade during her surgery. But I never saw any scenes like that, any tenderness or warmth towards Kale like that from Brianna. So is that why she went behind her back and did, you know, got with her like ex-husband? Like, do you ever see, like, for example, I got a question for y'all. Do you guys ever see if Jade and Sean were to break up again for the millionth time, would you see Jade sliding in on Sean? I have to ask. Do you guys see that happening? Because here's the thing. Brie has already proven herself to be kind of grimy, like the type to go behind her friend's back and get with her ex or whatever, right? And get, oh Lord, now you guys are making me hungry. Parmesan cheese, yes. Do you guys see her doing something similar to Jade? I feel like if it were anyone else where she had a surface level friendship, like for example with Cheyenne, would she go after Zach? Yeah, I would see it. But with Jade, there's something there. There's a tenderness there, right? There's a tenderness there that I feel like Jade is the only one free from it in my humble opinion. Let me see. What are you guys saying? Okay, you guys see her doing it. Okay. I could see Brianna doing that. She is that brand of dirty. She was never close with Petty Betty. So it was just like a surgery thing. But I thought they hung out at least a couple of times after that. I don't know. I do think that she would do that to anyone else but Jade. I'll be honest with you. But if she did it to Jade, I wouldn't be surprised either because she's already proven she's a little bit grimy, right? Again, Luke is claiming that he's still in love with Kayla. This is the thing about some men. They're so manipulative, right? They cheat on you. They treat you like crap. They push you to your damn limit until you decide, you know what? I'm not dealing with this anymore. I deserve better. Then all of a sudden they're boo-hooing about how they love you and they can't move forward or whatnot. You know what I mean? Like, please stop. Like, it's just so manipulative and I can't stand it. Like, good for Kayla not wanting that man back. He cheated on her so many damn times. Stop it. You do not love and miss her. You are just a lonely F-boy that nobody else wants to deal with because you are no longer playing the basketball, right? And I agree with you. I don't think Sean's her type. I think she's into like ethnic guys, Brianna. Has she dated a white guy? Because I'm thinking Devon. Then I'm thinking Javi. Then I'm thinking Javi too. Then I'm thinking Luis. Then I'm thinking the security guard. None of them have been white. So I don't think that that's her type. For now, but maybe she just hasn't dated a white guy, you know. Sometimes people think something is not my type. It's just no, I haven't dated it yet, you know. I don't know. You never know. You never know. Anyway, you guys, that's it. That's the recap. And I totally agree with you. Bria, I would not trust her as a friend. Nope. That is not my friend. Absolutely not. Yeah, Javi was wrong too, for sure. But Javi is so grimy. How do you talk about being a love and sex addict? I don't know what the girls see in him. You know, he somehow managed to get Lauren back, right? They're like together and whatnot. And that's the source of his problems with Kayla currently. It's all just such a complete and utter cluster F-U-C-K. My God. All right, you guys, that's it. That's the recap. That's what went down on the 2 episodes of the Teen Mom Family Reunion. I, of course, as usual, have enjoyed chatting with you. Thank you so much for joining me. If you guys would like to watch the full episode yourselves, I do have an affiliate link to the VPN that I use to watch on ctv.ca in the description link of this video down below. What else? Oh, I'm going to be covering that Netflix show, Perfect Match, as well. I'm finishing it up, and I will be covering that for you. I do have to do After the Altar for Love is Blind. By the way, season 4 is coming out mid-March, so stay tuned for that as well. Okay, you guys? Take good care of yourselves and enjoy the rest of your day. Take care, you guys. Bye.